One of my favourite stories from the Bible takes place when Jesus is out on a hillside and a crowd gathers to hear what he has to say. And they're so intrigued by his words that they don't even realise the passage of time. And they continue listening to what he has to say all the way through the day. And at the end of the day, they realise they haven't even had anything to eat. And Jesus says to his disciples, look, we can't send people away hungry. We're going to have to feed them. You know, what have we got? And they say to Jesus, look, there's no food here. There's no shops. And even if there was a shop, you know, we wouldn't have enough money to afford the food for these thousands of people that have gathered to hear what you have to say. And so Jesus says to them, well, what have we got? And they have a scout around and they ask around in the crowd to find out what people might have brought with them. And they find one young lad with his lunchbox. And they say, well, there's this lad here and he's got a few loaves and a couple of fish. You know, but what's that between these thousands of people that are gathered on this hillside? And Jesus says, well, bring it to me. And he gives thanks for this bread and he breaks it and he begins to share it. And something amazing takes place. And thousands of people are fed by this one lunchbox provided by this one boy. And I don't know if you're open to the idea of a miracle, but I think there's something amazing happens when we give the little that we've got. Someone once said to me that actually what happened in this miracle was that everyone who had been hoarding their secret packed lunch was shamed into sharing it by the actions of the boy. I don't really see it like that. I believe there is space for things to be more than we can imagine, things that can be greater than the sum of their parts. So I actually believe something happens when we give something sacrificially. Now, sometimes it might be a big action, you know, a big statement. Sometimes all it takes is sharing your lunch. It just takes us to give a little bit to make a big difference. I came across a video recently that covered the barn moving. This barn was in its wrong place and they were like, we're going to shift it to a new location. And so what do? Well, take a look, see what they get up to. It's amazing. So there you have it. The barn needs moving. What do? We pick it up. But it's not the kind of thing you can do by itself. And apparently 300 people were required and you could see them lining up, each taking one little section of the load. Now, we might not have to move a barn, but there are lots of things that we do that go so much better when we work together. There was a litter picking team out recently, and I don't have a lot of experience of that, but it is one thing that if you're not by yourself, it goes much more quickly, you're much more effective, and at the end of the day, that can be a really enjoyable experience, a way of giving something back to our community. But I can pretty much guarantee if one of us went out on our own with a litter picker and a bag, it would be soul destroying. There are so many things that just work when we get involved together. There's a local gardening team that put a few hours out just to help people with their gardens. And you know, you can see a garden that's become overgrown with brambles, and you know that if you're on your own, you've got a task to clear this. But if we're working as a team, well, everything just seems to happen much more easily. So this is me saying thank you for bringing what you've got, because I believe that when we give what we've got, amazing things happen. Now look around this cafe that you're sat in today. This is an expression of what happens when we work together, when we each give a bit of what we've got. So thank you for your involvement. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for the giving of yourself. And I believe that when we give of ourselves, amazing things can happen. So thank you for being here today, and I'm sorry that I can't be with you, but hopefully this short little video has reminded us of the power of community and what it means when we all love and serve one another. Look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.